Berg from Mark Vlogs Watches with an immediate and important announcement. Beep, beep, beep. This is no drill. This is no drill. Okay, well, it's not a drill, but there's a rumor, and the rumor is all over the internet that authorized dealers have received notice from Rolex that all the steel sports watches, which would be Rolex Submariners, Rolex GMTs, Rolex Daytonas, etc., are going into lowered production, which is to say, Rolex has announced to their authorized dealers that they will not be receiving supply of those watches anytime soon. Now, I was literally just at my local authorized dealer because I thought it was a very long shot that they would have a 43 millimeter Sea Dweller, red line Sea Dweller in stock for me to try on. But, you know, I thought I would go in there and see if they did. And the shocking thing to me was that not only did they not have hello, sweet cheeks. Well, hello there, Simondo. Not only did they not, I'm live, guys. So if you're watching this later, I'll see. I may be responding to comments that you're not seeing, but that's because this video was originally shot live. Anyway, I go into my my Rolex authorized dealer, and they had like zero in the sports line there. There was not a single GMT in any iteration. There was not a Submariner in any iteration whatsoever. There was like nothing. Steel sports watches were completely out. Yachtmaster, that wasn't there either. Somebody just asked if Yachtmaster was a good choice. Well, you know, I say Yachtmaster is a good choice, by the way, if you've already got a Submariner. If you don't have a Submariner, then, you know, I probably would add that before adding a Yachtmaster. Unless you're the guy who wants to have something that most people don't want. You know, not that it's a bad watch, but I think it comes behind the Submariner in desirability. Anyway, they had nothing. Now, the one thing that they did have, sorry about the sun blasting me here. This is I don't know what exposure it is, but there's a lot of light. Anyway, they had, oddly, they had a gold ceramic bezel Daytona on a Oyster Flex strap. That they did have, and in fact, they had it in the window. So clearly they want to get rid of that. They'd like to sell it. But they have, other than that, there was nothing. There were a few dress watches, some Surdy dials and stuff like that, but zero sports watches. So what does this mean? Let's assume for a moment that it's true. Let's wonder why they're doing it. You know, Patek just hit a couple of their models. Patek just raised prices on their dive watches, the Aquanaut and the Nautilus, by 20%. That just came out. So maybe Rolex is getting ready to do a giant price increase, and what they want to do is drain supply out of the distribution chain, building up demand, law of supply and demand, Keynesian economics. You know, they want to drive down the supply, drive up the demand, and then hit us with a giant price increase. If that sounds unlikely, switching hands. Well, you can't switch hands. You know, think about it. Patek just hit us with 20%. And it's not like I was necessarily in the market for a Nautilus. I don't much care for the Aquanaut, but I kind of like the Nautilus, except for its 40 millimeter and weird shape. Looks like a 1950s television. You know, but maybe if I keep my hand there. Anyway, so one definite possibility is that they're driving down the supply in order to hit us with a giant increase. I have heard other reasons why, like maybe they're about to change the movement. I don't buy that. I think that they would not have to drain the market worldwide in order to, in order to change movements. I think they have their stuff in their house in a little better order than that. So I suspect it's got to do mostly with a big price increase. And I think that now my dealer said that they got sold out during the holiday Christmas season, and they just haven't gotten anything in since. They would neither confirm nor deny that they've received notice from Rolex that it's going to be quite a while before they get anything else in, but it looks like a sure thing. So, you know, I have to say, for those of us who own steel sports Rolexes, it's probably good news, because what's going to happen is the secondary market is going to go nuts for pricing. And that's kind of already happening. Like if you go on, if you look at Jewelers on Time, Kenny Nguyen, buddies, Kenny Nguyen. If you look at, if, I can't curse, I'm trying to keep monetization up. But if you look at Kenny's stock, he's got stuff that like nobody else has access to. But if you look at Bob's watches, they don't have anything. Super limited inventory. And I'm sitting on a bunch of not quite vintage, but not quite new pre-ceramic stuff. I think now I'm going to hold it. Let's just see what happens. Anyway, just a point of order. If you have Steel Sports Rolex and you're thinking about selling, if I were you, I would wait. I think in 6 months, the value of your used stuff is going to just skyrocket. If you have vintage stuff, hold. I think this is not the time to be selling steel sports Rolexes of any point. Now, somebody's asking if the pre-ceramic Rolex Submariners are going to go up. This guy has a 2001 with a date with box and papers. Well, I got the same kind of stuff. I mean, I have the no date in that same price range. And the answer is yes. Yes, it's going to go up. It's going up like right now. So if I were you, I would sit tight. And the reason is that you just can't get you can't get the new stuff, and there's a lot of people who like the old stuff. So I think it's really bad news if you're in the market for a new one. If you're looking for a ceramic sub at this point, I think you're going to pay above list to get it from a gray market dealer. I think that's going to be your only option. I think on eBay, the flea bay, they're going to get stupid expensive. And I think in within 4 or 5 months, Rolex is going to hit us with some kind of like giant price increase. So bad news if you're looking to acquire right now, new stock. Pretty good news if you're sitting on some, a collection of used Rolex that you're thinking about selling. But what I would do is right now I would hold. Anyway, this is Mark Goldberg with inflated news about the Rolex supply chain. Is it all true? Well, we got to sit tight and wait and see. Now I'm going to search around here and find the button to make this stop. And you guys have a great day. It's going to take me a minute. Where's this? How do I stop this? I don't know. All right, hold on. I'll find it. Yes, I want to end streaming.